Hi, Jason Walker, Walker Tea Review, where we're presenting to you Adagio's Golden Monkey. So we're going to go ahead, put this in our cup, get it going, and see what we have to try today. Now, there are several stories, ideas behind how the name Golden Monkey came about. This tea is a Chinese tea. It looks like I'm putting a lot, but actually this is a fluffier, because it's curly. It's hard to get. It's hard to really get on your teaspoon, and so it looks like probably looks like it's more than it actually is, especially if you compare it by weight. Go ahead and spread some out here as well. Now, what I was saying was that what you'll find is a lot of your Chinese teas in particular have very colorful names, like Dragon Well. There's one Golden Monkey. Biluochuan, talking about a snail, and green and snail, and combination of words. There are several ideas related to this tea as to how it got its name. Some would say that monkeys actually picked these teas because they are grown on rugged mountainsides that were difficult to access. Put that one back in there. Others would say or some would claim that there's also a bit of an element of the golden monkey's hair, that this bears resemblance to a golden monkey's hair. So, as we look again, okay, I'll bring this up here so we can look a little more closely. This is Adagio's, as I mentioned, Golden Monkey. Steeping instructions here are 212 degrees for your water temperature, a steep time of 5 minutes. I want to make sure I said that correctly. A sample size of this tea will run for $4, and as we mentioned before, this is from China's Fujian province. Okay. One thing we're going to notice is our smell. This one has almost close to a red tea, and it's kind of sweet, brisk, tannin smell to it. Teas like this can often be associated, or say that in the cup wise, has a bit of a malty or an apricot, or almost some would even say a chocolatey type aftertaste. But we're going to go ahead and talk about that, or talk more about that in just a moment. Right now, let's look at our leaves and see what we have in front of us. What we can see here is that, yes, we do have a bit of these golden colored leaves. We have some that are dark as well. Let me go ahead and pull those out. And again, these are a lot of these leaves, or these pieces, are ½ inch. Some of them a little longer, some of them are shorter. And what you also see is that they are wrapped, folded, processed quite tightly. It's a very tight little spindle looking. So that's something to note if you were going to go look at or examine Golden Monkey teas for yourself. Okay, so that's what we have in front of us. I'm going to go ahead and get our paper ready, because we are also going to, of course, look at our liquid. Now, some other things that I want to note. Again, this was in our previous tastings. I'm giving this a little more time to steep, because I want to give it, because this one does take a little bit longer. In previous tastings, we found that this one was malty. It had a little bit of it had a light element of a brisk red tea type element to it as well. Aromas, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to leave that for a little bit later. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we have in front of us now. Yeah, that's a fairly good color. I'm pleased with that. So let's take a look at our color here. We do have a it's deeper than copper. This is a deeper red, which you might say, richer than an amber as well. You would see black teas, if held up to the light, often or can resemble this color. Okay, so it is a richer color, fairly clear, good brightness on it as well. The smell is distinctive or separate from a common traditional black tea, like an Indian type, Darjeeling type black tea. Unique from Assams as well. Not as there's not that briskness that comes out, as I said before, compared to those other Indian type black teas. So let's get this one a taste, see what we have. Let's swirl around. Yeah. Now, this one is not as puckery as a lot of your Indian style black teas. I mean, there's some that have the tannins that are quite strong and you just kind of suck up. This one's not. This one's lighter. It has a little bit of a malty taste, as I said. It has a bit of the aromas extend into kind of a red globe grape. So it does have a bit of the kind of, how should I say, it does have a bit of a tannic, but very light. It's like you eat those large seeded grapes, red seeded grapes. And that's kind of the fruit element that I'm pulling out of this. Okay, it does have also a bit of a kind of soil element to it as well. So that brings out a fairly good flavor profile. The body, yes, it does go into all the corners of your mouth. I mean, it's not what you would say is creamy, but it is fairly smooth. It doesn't have a watery taste at the back. It doesn't have overly brisk or puckery to it as well. So it's much lighter in those areas. Again, what I would like to have seen, as we said, some are known to have an apricot element to it, which I did not pick up. Others are known to have an almost chocolatey element in the aftertaste, which was not fully present in this. Overall, because it does have a fairly decent body, I would like to have seen a little bit more on the profile, flavor profile. The aftertaste is quite lasting, so all in all, we would give this tea an 81 for a score. There are others out there that we would expect to see more from. Perhaps this season will be a better season for this particular Golden Monkey tea from Adagio, and that will have a stronger profile in 09. Again, I'm Jason Walker, and we just talked about Adagio's Golden Monkey, starting at $4 here at Walker Tea Review.